Hey there, this is Daryl from the Jackson Fishing Team, currently up here in Conway, New Hampshire. I'm going to start my 6-fly series for speckled sea trout for the Charleston area and maybe Louisiana. So let's take a look and see what we're going to tie. We're going to be tying a Gartside Gurgler in my variation, and we'll explain the materials as we go along and why I do certain things. Alright, let's get to see what the fly is. So this here's the fly. It's a Gartside Gurgler. I'm going to tie this in brown and tan, and legs are optional, but I added them on here. So why don't we take a look at the materials and tie up a fly. The hook that I'm going to use is Mustad S74SAP in a size 2 salt streamer, long hook. And I'm going to go ahead and debarb. And the material I'm going to use is some 210 Denier in tan. And we'll go ahead and start this right back behind the eye of the hook. And we'll just take that back to where the barb of the hook used to be. Next material I'm going to use is some Arctic fox hair and fur in tan. I got a little bit left here. I'm going to go ahead and use that up. And I'm going to use a little comb here to get out this under fur. And the tail we're going to want is about the length of the tail, of the shank of the hook. And we're going to try to keep that right on the top. And the next material we're going to use are these foam strips from Sidecast, and they're 3mm. They're 2 colored. There's like a 1 centimeter or 1mm tan, and then it looks like a 2mm glued up. You can make up your mine or your own, or you can use any solid 2 or 3mm foam. I'm going to go ahead and cut a point on it. some Zap-A-Gap or super glue to the top there. And in this case, I'm going to make sure I've got the tan side up. And I'm using 210. You could probably do 140, but I'm trying to make sure I don't cut into that foam. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to use some crustacean Estaz in tan. And I'm going to take some of the fibers out a little bit. So I just got a core there. And I'm going to take this up to the midpoint. And I'm going to palmer this forward to that midpoint, so I don't brushing back the fibers, so I'm not trapping any of those. If you do, you can always take a bodkin and pull them out. And we're going to tie this off, but we're not cutting it off. The next we're going to do is we're going to use some Marsh legs in sand brown with a gold tip. You can use whatever color you want, but I think this kind of looks kind of nice with the tan and brown. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put two legs on right and left, and since the tips of this are gold, I'm going to just divide the area in half, give it a couple tight wraps. Next I'm going to just take it back up here, and I'm going to push these back while I continue palmering up to the eye of the hook. Like I said earlier, the legs could be optional. We'll trim that off. And what I'm going to do, I like putting just, yeah, a little pocket there. And what that does, it kind of gives an air gap, so when you jerk it under the water, it creates a bubble trail. And we're just going to fold this over here. To stiffen up for a thing to really push the water ahead. And then we'll whip finish. Give it another one. Trim that off. And then cut so the legs are roughly the same length. Gartside Gurgler. My variation, you know, I put a little hump in there for the air bubbles. Give an air bubble trail, maybe more attraction. Who knows? You can trim that right down a little bit more if you want. Some people put a foam tail on them. But, yeah. Alright. Hope you found that interesting to tie up a few. They might even work for bass up here. I should try them for that. But I've got tan and brown and black and purple for the low country. Good color. Alright, I'm Daryl, and we'll see you on the water. Just tie some up and let me know how you like them.